Yeah. Hey. Welcome to the network, where I'm leveling out my net worth. Gonna be raising mountains till my neck hurt. Got the culture on my shoulders, why they thinking about their next verse. I'm dropping the bag for my next hurt. Welcome to the network. What's going on, y'all? Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Blaze on a Ninth Wonder, and welcome to the Dope Bar. You feel me? And we join with an amazing guest, man. Introduce yourself, homie.
What's good, man? My name's EDISON, man. R&B hip hop artist out here, California, LA. What's going on?
Bro, first off, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Music Breaker for making the connection and all. You know, I'm like, oh, the interview, bet. Played the music, slide, vibe, bro.
Right, man. I'm glad you like the track, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, man. A lot of people ain't trying to dance no more. You feel me? They are, but the behind the music, it's perks, shoot, kill them. You feel me? So to have a feel good track to be able to vibe, you know what I'm saying? That
right.
So, yeah, where you from, dog?
I'm originally from Northern California. I'm from a small town called Modesto, California, and currently reside in LA. So I'm down here in SoCal now. So yeah, that's where I'm originally from.
That's what's up, man. And when did you get involved in music?
You know what? I remember just being a little kid. I think it was about the age of 2, where I was just so obsessed with radio. You know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was basically all it was. You know, it was all radio, all CDs, and my family used to have a party at the house all the time, and it was always R&B and hip hop. So I was always hearing, you know, Tupac and Next and Aaliyah, Usher, all those guys, man. It was always about that genre of the music. So I just fell in love with it.
When did you feel like, all right, this is what I want to do, you know, as a career?
Probably when I got to about the age of 6. When I was about 6 years old, I never looked back. And I remember that was when I first got on stage, and that's when I knew, like, this is what I want to do with my life.
What?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. And a lot of kids, man, they don't get to be that fortunate to find something like that early. So
big fact.
So it's a blessing for sure that I got to find something that I really truly love at such a young age.
That's what I'm saying. So who in the family, you know, supported you being able to do it at 6? So obviously you weren't doing paying for no studio time or nothing like that, you know. So
no.
Who was it in the family that helped you out and, you know, helped the dream come true?
You know, it's probably I would say everyone pretty much supported, but I think my mom is definitely the number one supporter. She my mom is always about making sure that you follow what you want to do with your life, and no matter how big and how small, there's no such thing as a dream that's too big or too small. So, but of course, you know, it wasn't until maybe I got to about my teenage years where I started recording my own music. So it's, as a child, you know, I think she wanted me to just kind of be a child, and once I got a little bit older, then that's when you can start to kind of figure it out from there. So so I'd probably say my mom is definitely the number one supporter, but she wanted me to be on the right path, to be sure that my head was straight, make sure I went to school, did all that first. So I did.
That's what's up. Shout out to all the moms out there, man. All the real ones, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So very first performance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm saying, when was your very first performance?
Oh man, I was in the 2nd grade. There was a talent show at my elementary school, and the very first song was like, "You remind me of a girl that I once knew." You know, and so that was the very first song I ever performed, and that was the only song that I performed that day. So it was cool.
And just gotta throw it out there. Y'all heard the voice, man. My God. God knew. See, God knew. He was like, all right, when he made me, all right, I'm not giving you that voice. We're gonna go ahead and give it to Edison. We can't give you. Because if I said, bro, you're just too smooth, I wouldn't talk. For what? Every single time I remember, what's up, Blaze? You remind me of. Straight up. Hey.
No, I hear you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
One thing I hear is people that can sing. Is I always say, "Boy, if I had a voice, I'd never stop singing." But singers be like, "Oh, it's aggravated. It's annoying." Is it like that? It's like, oh, all right. Everybody like, "Hey, could you sing? Could you sing? Could you sing?"
Yeah, yeah. We can all sing. Just not everybody wants it as a career. You know.
So you kind of came in. So you telling me Usher first performance. So by the time you really got into it, we were moving into the social media era. So how was the transition? Because obviously the pandemic hit, threw everything off its axis. Like how was the transition from before pandemic going into it and now coming out of it?
I think before social media came in, I thought discovering special talent and developing it was very, very unique and different. Yeah. I thought you really had to know who you know. It was about either your friend or someone you were in a relationship with knew somebody. Yeah. And of course, that was back when people were still out on the street selling CDs and whatnot. People were still going to places like Warehouse or FYE or Target, Best Buy, getting all the CDs and stuff. And so it was more. I thought it was more about a connection game before social media. It was all about who you knew, and and I thought labels at the time, they really invested into marketing and developing who you were. Yes. And you transition into the social media era where labels don't have to do so much. Now you get to put yourself out there, and now the true work for the artist really begins. So it's and that social media could be a blessing and a curse too. So it's I think it's very important that we develop ourselves and not have to rely on so much on what people can have a hearsay. Yeah. So now you get to have a say. And social media, I think social media is a good thing, because now artists can interact with their fans a lot more. Yeah. Before, back then it was about you can only really interact with them during the shows, and or you just ran into people out on the street. And of course, coming into this pandemic, it's been very hard. All we can do is just do virtual. And of course, we don't know what it's like to not have an interaction, because we know what it's like to have a life with social media now. And it's going to be the norm going from here to the next 100 years or so. So I think with this pandemic, it's been very, very tough. And of course, we've all been stressed out by it, whether you're an artist or not. And but it's definitely given me time to just kind of sit back, reflect, and just keep working on my craft and thinking about what's important outside of music as well. So I've been able to find some inner peace in my life a little bit. So it sucks, and I do wish and I hope that we can get back to normal soon. Yeah. But coming out of this pandemic, though, I'd probably say the best thing that come out of it is definitely, like I said, self-growth, and just being able to work on my craft and just being able to just find more connections that you could use. I've been able to get a manager out of this whole pandemic, and being able, and I was a featured artist on a song that just got released about last Friday did a song with 2 Chainz and all that stuff. So I'm you gotta check it out, man. It's called Top of the Hill. It's on his page. So
did you have it on Spotify already?
It's on Spotify, yeah. It's not on my page because I'm a featured artist, so you can find it on there.
That's big.
Yeah. So I was able to not give up throughout this whole pandemic, even though it felt like it was definitely a stressful time in everybody's life. So yeah, I just kept going.
Bro, that is huge. I love that, bro. Yeah, because a lot of people, they get it twisted, get it confused. Like before the pandemic, before social media, that was real big. Labels took the time, the artists developed, they gave them the vocal training, did all of that stuff. Once the pandemic, once social media got as big as it and impactful as it was, now labels like, all right, you do all of it yourself because you got the tools, and then we'll just put money behind it.
Right.
It's more their thing. Big ups to how you handled it, how you keep the game, how you maneuver through it. A lot of people, don't make it. One thing the pandemic did do was it let you know if you was a hustler or not. You want no hustle. Pandemic, it ain't for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's like I said, it all depends on how you want to approach it. I know that I know it's tough, man. I know that everyone's been kind of chewing each other out not even the last year, but maybe the last 4 or 5 years or so. So it's I just want to be able to show people that, you know, there's always good within the bad. You know, there can always be some good within the bad, and it's all about what you make of it, not so much in how you react to it, what you make of it.
So what are hobbies outside of music?
Oh man, you know, I'm a big sports guy, so I'm a big basketball fan, and of course, you know, living in LA, Laker fan my whole life, you know. So
You the ops, you feel me? Y'all just beat us in the finals. You know, I'm Miami Heat all day. Y'all just whooped us. You feel me?
oh, you're in the Florida location?
I'm in Georgia right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Florida, so you know, Miami Heat, the squad.
Oh, okay.
And
Hey, but oh man, I could not stand your team for that LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh run, man. I could not stand you guys, man. I could not stand you guys. The 06 team, all right, but once you got that big three in Miami, it was like, okay. But,
to me, what would have been able to give us competition, but the NBA didn't let it happen. If that year that they would have let the Lakers get Chris Paul when he tried to go with the Clippers, I don't know why they stopped it. I was scared. I'm like, thank you, NBA. But then looking back on it, I'm like, that would have been a beast team because they were getting Howard. So you had Kobe, you had Chris Paul in his prime. I was like, this is about to be a. But you know, thankfully, the NBA got somebody in Miami Heat was like, no, we're gonna throw you a little money. Make sure this don't happen.
you know what, man? Things happen for a reason, I guess. But I really would have loved to see Chris Paul come and help Kobe get that 6th ring, man. You know, just kind of like, just get that, man. Hey, man, it was great. It was great, man. I wish he, you know, rest in peace to Kobe, man, and his daughter and all those people. But, you know, definitely one of the very few guys that I looked up to growing up, man. He was definitely a once in a lifetime human being that you don't get to see in this lifetime.
Yes. What's so crazy is, like, I listen to a lot of my older stuff, and people are like, the Miami Heat fan is always against the Lakers. You reference Kobe Bryant a lot, because even though as a player he was competition, still I was like, that Mamba mentality was so inspiring. Like, it wasn't just something that he just says. It really was an inspiring thing, and it sucks that, you know, a lot more people pick up on it or pay attention or appreciate it now that he's gone.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed it while I was here, especially after when he retired. He was just doing so many things that I just didn't know about him, and I just loved it. And like his kids' books, and then him coaching teams, and a lot of the stuff he was doing. So big shout out to Kobe Bryant, for real.
Yeah, for sure, man. And one thing you got to ask too, man, how many great, not even great athletes, but people in general, where they said something so publicly and you believed it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, I hear a lot of people all the time say, like, you know, especially, you know, and I hate to use this as an example. It's like when you're hanging out with friends at a club and then they see a girl that they see from across the room, like, hey, man, I'm gonna get that number, and then they don't do it. Exactly. But I always said to myself, you know, but Kobe always said he was gonna do something. I believed it.
Yeah.
And he did it, you know? And you can say the same about any great athletes out there, you know, from guys like, you know, from MJ to Muhammad Ali. I think Muhammad Ali was probably one of the biggest examples of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where everything was it was show and tell.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they just will do one out of the two. But to me, the great legendary people will always do both. Exactly. They will always do both. They will always back it up. And I think that's what makes legends become legends.
I love it. I remember the last time in Kobe's farewell tour, his last season, they came to Miami to play. I spent so much stupid money on some good seats. He was in street clothes. I was so mad. Like, come on, Cole. Hey, come and get the game.
Hey, but it shows you, man, worth the price of admission, though. You know, but you know, it sucks. Yeah, for sure. It's it sucks. I guess that's what sucks about sports. Sometimes you pay all this money just to see your favorite dude. At least I got to say I was in the same arena as Kobe. You know, absolutely.
That felt good. My very first visit to LA back in 2012, I seen him in the store, so I tried to sneak me a picture. It was as blurry as I don't know what, but I know it's Kobe, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Hey, man, he was just never got the chance to meet the dude, but man, that guy, I can't explain. I don't think I would have developed any type of motivational trait in my body if it wasn't for that man.
Yeah.
You know, it's I think, yeah, and it just shows you, man. I've seen a lot of celebrity deaths that hit me hard. You know, from Michael Jackson to
that was my worst.
Yeah, that hurt me quite a bit. You know, and then you know you had guys. You know, you had Chadwick Boseman after Kobe a little bit too. You know, so and Chadwick stuck because you know I know what it's like to lose family members to cancer and whatnot. So that really hit home for me. But Kobe's probably hit the hardest just because, like I said, you know, only looked up to a few people my whole life, and just seeing one of them go like that definitely hits you right in the heart, man. It sucks.
It's so crazy. The two most inspirational to me, two of the most is Kobe and Michael Jackson. Like my mom almost named me Michael Jackson. Thank God my grandmother stopped it. Like Michael Jackson, my grandma was like, no. She was like, okay, Blaze, Michael Jackson. Okay, I like Blaze, but no Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Blaze Joseph Hunter. She was like, nah, Joseph Michael middle name. I ain't stupid. Like Blaze LaJuan Hunter. She's like, oh, I like that. Not knowing that LaJuan is Jermaine Jackson's middle name. So you know, I got stuck with one of the Jacksons.
Hey, Blaze is dope though.
Oh, Blaze is dope though. I love Blaze. I don't have to copyright my name. You feel me? I'm straight. My actual name is Blaze Hunter. Beautiful.
Right. It's dope, man. Like that. It sounds like a stage name.
Yeah, it is. You know, yeah. So I started music 2003. So I was rapping, performing. I toured in Europe. I've done a lot of stuff. So pandemic era, not pandemic. I always start pandemic. Social media era started to take over. And, you know, got into radio and saw because I knew there were a lot of these different things. I also knew because I'm 36, so I knew I'm coming toward the era of this extra young trap, and I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna survive in this game, because I don't care for a lot of trap music. I care for it to listen to as far as playing it on the station. I respect the genre. I just ain't. So I was like, I need to find something that's gonna keep me relevant. I started doing music review show, Blaze It Up Radio, Blaze It Up Review Show. Then that turned into Blaze It Up Radio, and then now I got the Signature Series Network, and it's just for a thing and doing stuff like this. You know, for artists, I've been through a whole lot. I know the glass ceiling and where it is. So to help artists to be able to get shine, to be seen, get viewed, you know what I'm saying? That's the dream for me. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to connect with you, knowing even though you have a good amount of fans and following here, there's a whole bunch of people from my end that don't know you and will get to know you. And I love that. You know, I love it.
Hey man, and that's much love to you, man. It's rare to find people who's willing to be a part of a legacy. Yeah, willing to be a part of helping you out, and I think that's a beautiful thing to see when people are trying to get involved with you.
Yes,
so I appreciate that, man. Much love.
Definitely. Definitely.
Much love.
I'll say one last thing about basketball, and I'll leave it alone. A lot of people sleep on y'all team. They're like, oh, that's an old team. They sleep. I bet nobody want to see them in the playoffs. Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. If I know we got to go against them, if we make it to the finals and y'all in the conference finals, I'm like, all right, somebody, Anthony Davis twist the ankle. Somebody, Carmelo sprain the show. Somebody got to get hurt because it's gonna be a wrap. Westbrook is a pit bull. LeBron is LeBron. AD healthy is a machine. Carmelo, all Carmelo got to do is catch and shoot.
And his job is a lot easier, man.
I'll put Kendrick Nunn from us. I hate that.
Hey man, but your squad's still pretty good.
I'm squad fire. That's why I said meet y'all in the finals. You feel me?
Yeah.
My squad. Yeah. I'm good with my squad.
Hey, if you play Brooklyn, I will cheer for Miami all you want. I will cheer for Miami to go against Brooklyn. I think you guys got a pretty good squad. When you guys got Kyle Lowry and all that, I was like, okay. This team's gonna make some noise in the East. So let's wait and see how this goes. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, big, yeah. All right, so off music. Yeah. So have you thought about getting involved in in acting, any type of thing like that? Besides, because entertainment obviously is a whole bunch of things. So besides music, acting or anything else, have you decided or you thought about wanting to get involved in?
Yeah, I'm actually getting involved in acting. of course, it's like I said, tough right now because the amount of opportunity that's out there because of the pandemic that we're still in. But yeah, but excuse me, I'm currently involved in a comedy improv, so it's yeah, it's not as easy as people think. It's not easy to just kind of be up there and just think of stuff that's funny. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, but it's but getting the foot to me that was like a foot in the door somewhat. I've only been doing improv for almost a year now, and I can say, man, I'm having a lot of fun, and of course I'm into writing my own film, so I'm kind of working on that, and just being able to meet different people within that, because it's different. It's going to be different connections, so you got to talk to people differently. You gotta know how to kind of smooth your way into the room, sneak into the room, or sometimes you just got to kick down that door. So it's yeah, it's really fun. I'm enjoying it. We just had our first live show yesterday.
That's
so I'm yeah, it's yeah, I think a lot of people are still uncomfortable going out. So once things start to get better, and then once people start to feel more comfortable, we'll be able to draw more people in, and being able to just have fun. Being able to have fun, just keep working.
That's good. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I have a comedy show, stand-up comedy show on my channel called the Yo I'm Dead stand-up comedy show.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, it slowed down a little bit because of the pandemic, but the way I have it set up is I created a host. I created a host. So on my radio show, when the pandemic started to take over, I was like, all right, it's gonna get boring with me because I do the I Feel Good morning show, which is the best damn morning show on the planet, but that's not here nor there. So
talk your stuff.
I'm doing the show, and I'm like, damn, it's gonna. I need a special guest or something. It's gonna get boring. So they have those text apps where those text to voice apps, so you can make like the different. You can type whatever out and they'll say it. So I created Samantha, the voice of the GPS. And I did it as a guest, and it was so funny episode. And then all of a sudden, I got so much messages and mail and emails. You need to make her a permanent member of the show. Want her back. So now she's my permanent co-host. Made her on social media and everything.
Okay, that's what's up.
When I started the comedy show, while I was starting up the comedy show, the person that I had assigned to host it flaked out on me and was wanting to get it right. So I'm like, all right, I have a deadline. I can make the channel to run professionally. So I'm like, people like Samantha, she's funny. I'm going to, so it'll be, I created an animation. She speaks, it's funny. She'll say a couple of funny lines and introduce the next comedian. The comedians send their music. They send their like stand-ups. Like if they got videos stand up, they'll send it in. So it's real cool. And it gives, an audience to be able to see, newer comics versus, seeing the same ones that see on YouTube already anyways,
Yeah, absolutely, man. At least you got those outlets. You got the outlets, man. You got it all figured it out.
Bro, I'm telling you. So yeah, I'm definitely holler at you afterwards, to talk about this comedy,
Yeah, man. Yeah, let me know. I haven't done stand-up in 2 years. Man, I might come out a little rusty.
But I also have a sketch comedy show, you know what I'm saying? So
okay.
So either or, however, we definitely can talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So working with 2 Chainz, how did this happen?
Oh man, you know what? I didn't believe it at first. So I got a call at around 9 or 10 in the morning from my manager. Shout out to Unique INT, my manager. He gave me a call. He said, hey, like, you want an opportunity that'll change your life? And then I was curious because we were doing a lot of small stuff. So just kind of hear that, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm interested. But I was a little bit busy when he first called. So I said, I'll call you back in a couple hours. We'll talk.
Yeah.
And so when I caught a break, he called me and he said, okay, so here's what I got for you. So from what he told me the first time, it was 2 Chainz or T-Pain. So he said 2 Chainz or T-Pain. And then I said, okay, well, I said, he told me, let's let the label decide what they want to do. And when because me not being the signed artist, it's not my choice to decide who I'm going to be with. So, so I guess T-Pain wasn't an option. So he told me, hey, so we got 2 Chainz on this track. And he said, we're going to get the beat sent to you once it's ready. And it's kind of went from there. I never actually got to talk to him though, but my man Unique, he talks to everybody within the industry, and he's the, you know, yeah, he's a verified guy on IG, and he knows the insides and out. And yeah, so once I got the beat, told me I needed more information on what the song was about, got to writing, got to recording, and the song got delayed a few times, but it was okay, we got it. And so it dropped August 6th, so it came out on the hill. So, and I just this past Monday actually filmed my spot for the video, so it's nice. Gonna be fire, man. It's gonna be fire. I'm excited.
You go if you don't mind, you know, I'm gonna put on a spot type person. If you don't mind just giving us a good acapella of you know, a little bit of your feature, you know what I'm saying? If you,
it's a trap song, so it might be a little bit different. So let me see. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah, bro, you good, bro?
Okay, for sure. Let's do it. All right. It's a little bit of a snippet, like more money to blow, more hoes in my whip. Can't even say nothing. I'm too traumatized for my wrist. I'm too traumatized for my wrist. Hey, don't want to give you the whole spill, but that's
vibe, bro. Oh yeah, definitely bump. Definitely go bump.
Oh man, the beat goes hard, man. When I got the beat, I was like, woo, this is nasty. And I mean in a good way too. Like, this is nasty.
Yeah, I love the dynamics in your voice. I love that you can, and then you remind me earlier, and then obviously the single that's on that you have on attached to Breaker. I'm like, so it's 3 different type of styles I've heard from you already. So how important is it, do you think, to not just stick to one style and to be able to have that variety as an artist?
I think it's very important. It's more crucial, I think, than you think. It's because you want to be able to show, or at least do more than what you know you are good at. Because there's always going to be the natural side. There's always a natural side, but you always want to explore out of your own element to show people, like, you know what, this guy's special.
Yeah.
This guy's special, and it's always about bringing something to the table. You know, if you can't bring something to the table, then there's really no reason to pay attention to you. There's no reason to look at you. There's no reason to speak to you. No reason to even look at you in the face. It's something that I really push. Especially I see really young artists today. You know, I always try to tell them, you always want to try to stand out as much as you can.
Yes.
Because a very passionate person will always be working hard.
Yeah.
Very, very passionate will always be working hard. And when you think that you're working hard, there's always gonna be somebody who's gonna try to outdo you. So, but the question is not, can you try to outdo them, but can you just focus on yourself to make sure that you separate yourself from the crowd? So I always encourage a lot of artists, be unique.
Yes.
Do not be someone who is common and you can see every day.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I understand, man, it's tough. You're gonna have bad days with it, but that's the beauty of it. You gotta find, there's always beauty in struggle. We've heard that quite a bit. There's always beauty in struggle.
Big facts.
Yeah, and it takes some time. It takes some time. I really, if I can be honest with you, I really didn't find really some of my best elements until probably I got to about my probably when I got into college, maybe. Yeah, so it did take a good minute, because before I thought I was kind of stuck on, I feel like I was pretty stuck on just singing love songs all the time, and it's like wait a minute, no, like if I'm gonna sing about love songs, I can't be having the same delivery. I gotta bring it at least in a different way. So that's why I'm glad, because you know what, there's always gonna be like these new genres that come up, you know, because we probably didn't hear about trap soul till like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So so once that came out, I was like, okay, now I need to explore another element. So there's always going to be more opportunities to explore your element. So I think it becomes more natural to fit into it once time goes on.
That's really good, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely proud of you, bro. Love hearing the wisdom. Y'all take notes, man. Everybody wants to take notes. Take notes. Straight up.
It's important.
So, what series are you watching on Netflix, Hulu, Showtime? What kind of TV you watching?
Oh, I just watched this movie called it's a Netflix original. Have you heard it's called The Package?
I heard of I gotta watch The Package now. I seen the preview last night, and I'm like, nah, maybe. And now you said it, that's a sign. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know, it's weird, but it's all right for what it was, I guess. You know, as far as like, you know what, I watched a little bit. I watched a little bit of the Malice at the Palace documentary, and because as a kid, because I was a kid at the time, so I remember just hearing about it on the news. I didn't actually see it in real time on TV.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to hear like the insides of what went on between the players and the fans and how it got into that huge brawl. You know, so it was. I found it very interesting. You guys definitely should go check it out But on Hulu, man, I've been watching. Me and my friend, man, he's been coming over. We've just been watching a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So it's yeah. So I have a lot of good laughs, but and of course, man, I've been watching Netflix is where I go to a lot of my stand-ups.
Yeah,
I guess you could say, you know, that's where, you know, you see all the Dave Chappelle documentaries, the Dave Chappelle, the Chris Rock, and of course a lot of YouTube. And of course, YouTube doesn't have much because YouTube is where I watch a lot of my interviews.
Yeah,
where I try to watch other people's interviews, and that's where I go, you know, because I'm a big fan of like Vlad and all them on YouTube. So I watch a lot of them. So it's is it what?
I said, shout out to Vlad. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Vlad.
no, man. Yeah, he's good, man. Trying to, hey, one of these days, man, I'd like to be interviewed by Vlad one of these days, man. Definitely iconic dude in the business. But it's yeah, that's all I've been watching so far. Not really much. And you know, because when you work a lot, you really don't really
yeah,
you don't really have time for TV. It's
for me, it's always nighttime. All right, when I'm done, I know I'm getting ready to sleep. All right, I'll watch a couple episodes, fall asleep on them.
Absolutely. And of course, absolutely, that's nighttime is where it's at. And that's when I tend to turn on The Office. I'm a big fan of The Office, so I can always enjoy it. I
was hoping it was in here. I got an Office coffee mug.
Oh, you got what do you got? The best host or something? The best boss. Best boss. Oh man, I could watch the same episodes and still laugh. That's what I think is so great about a show that you love, because it could just never get old. You can watch it you can watch the same episode 5 times in the same day. Never will you not laugh. You will laugh every single time, man.
That's an element a lot of shows, I believe a lot of TV has lost. Like, that's what I appreciate about The Office, because, you know, back with Martin, Fresh Prince, you can see reruns all the time and continue to laugh and love it. But nowadays, you watch a show one time and all right, it's good. You don't care to watch it again, seen this already. There's some things that get a little stale afterwards, but man, The Office definitely captivates. They're just stupid, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I remember people were asking, would The Office survive in the way that the culture is now? Hey. And I say yes, because the whole idea of it is not to insult. It's supposed to be edgy.
Yes.
It's supposed to be edgy humor. It's not so much to insult. And we're not. Their characters are not supposed to come off as smart to begin with. So it's like Always Sunny. Always Sunny is the same idea. They're not supposed to be come in as these smart characters who just are arrogant and all that. They're actually stupid. So it's different, you know. But I think as much as I love The Office, they'll never outcompete the 90s sitcoms. They will never outcompete. They will never outcompete the 90s sitcoms, because Fresh Prince is my all-time favorite sitcom. So I always try to go back and watch some old 90s, you know, from Them to Different World to Family Matters, and and I'm not a big fan of Friends, but I'll see episodes every now and then. But you know, it's
same.
Yeah, I'm sorry, people out there, but people out there who are.
I already know somebody's gonna be very angry at me for this part of the interview right now. Shout out to K Will. I gotta introduce you to K Will. You get interviewed on, you know, by her and whatnot. She's another influencer that I work with.
For sure, but definitely.
A TV show on my network called Vibing with K Will, where she showcases music videos. She has another show where she does interviews called the K Will Interrogation Room. So you want to give her a little shout out. But she's such a Friends fan. I'm like, you know, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here, as much as I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna sit here and say, that it's not uh a good. I'm not gonna say it didn't mean nothing.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely iconic for what it was. It's but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, just personal taste, guys. It's not something that I want to
Exactly.
be able to go out there and watch. But I probably liked Seinfeld a bit more. I thought Seinfeld was cool. Seinfeld was cool, and of course, you can't forget about other sitcoms like All That and
all that, Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and Kel, Moesha.
Yes.
Moesha, man, that was like those shows were definitely the heart and soul of that timeline.
Yes, and
they were.
And I believe what's so crazy is I believe those shows they kept the balance of people, like music already. Like, of course, a lot of people hear music today is like, oh, back in our day it was nothing like this. No, it was kind of crazy back then too.
Yeah,
the balance that kept people like you, like me, that grew up off these 90s shows, that to be able to actually have some type of wisdom and knowledge and not go over the deep end were these sitcom shows. There were some valuable family lessons in these shows. It was them go out and drink, to skip school, the punishment that happens. You got to see a lot of that in a lot of these shows, and I appreciated that. I really wish they would bring that type of stuff back 100%. Like, they're trying. Like, Blackish is a good show. You know what I'm saying? So they got a good, sitcom shows that's out there, but man, they not like the 90s shows.
No, man. I mean, like I said, like you nailed it, man. Like, it was about being relatable. It was about how can we be funny, but understand what cannot be funny about it. So it's that's why, like you said, the balance was just definitely good. And those are important times, man, because during that time, not a lot of research was getting out to people.
Yes.
So it was like more about those shows where it was more, that's how the information was getting to us. Because back then it was all about relying on probably news networks, but without social media, you're very limited to what you're exposed to. You're very limited.
So there are two other shows. There's Family Matters and Boy Meets World. I was not Family Matters, I'm tripping. Full House and Boy Meets World. I was definitely a Boy Meets World dude. So they came out with Fuller House.
Yeah.
And Girl Meets World. I sat down and watched either one of those shows.
I have not seen Girl Meets World. The title sounds very weird. The Girl Meets World.
I was like, Girl Meets. I said, y'all why can't y'all leave well enough alone? But when I realized Topanga are the parents, so I'm like, oh, they still in the. I'm like, all right, I'll watch. You think I watched it's nowhere near as good as the original, obviously, but it's a good show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would with the kids or niece, nephew, go watch. I would put them on it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit watching There's no Girl Meets World.
Yeah. No, I mean, oh God. Boy Meets World was good. I mean, I've not seen Girl Meets World, but I've seen clips of Fuller House.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why it's hard for me to watch that one is because I wasn't even that big of a fan of Full House.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. I mean, I've seen some episodes because I think my cousins were more into Full House than I was.
Yeah.
But of course, you can't forget about the Olsen twins. They were at the time they were like the iconic sisters, and before they were Kardashians, they were the Olsen. They're the Olsen twins. So it was I've never. I could say the reason why maybe Full House may relate to me in some form is because being from NorCal, only living about an hour away from San Francisco. So it's so I can probably say, you know what, I only live an hour away from the setting of that show. So it's cool. I guess you could say that's like the cool thing, because being from NorCal, you don't get a lot of beauty into where you're from. Yeah, you don't get a lot of beauty. You don't get a lot of hearsay from where you're from, unless you're from like Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland. Because the Bay Area is like the biggest hip hop spots in the whole world. You know what I mean? That's just where, so when I was in NorCal, it was all about going dumb and going stupid. that's how it was, man. That's the Bay Area for you. It was going dumb, it was going stupid. You know, the hyphy movement was huge over there. So it's cool to see a setting close to you.
Yeah.
It brings some pride into your into where you're from.
Yeah. I guess I'm like that too. There was that Jennifer Lopez and Jason Statham movie. I'm mad I can't remember what it's called, but I was so hyped because they filmed the movie in West Palm Beach. So when they were doing like scene transition and had the drone in the sky showing the city, I'm like, that's my city. I feel so privileged.
Right. It's always that's the benefits of coming from that's the benefits of coming from a big state. Come from a big state, you know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to all the producers out there who give Blaze and I the chance to feel good about ourselves.
Straight up. All right.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to get into would be the state of not the state of R&B. I want to say the state of R&B, but state of music in general. But R&B, the one thing I used to love about R&B, obviously back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, their job was to be like, if music was a body, there's whichever, hip hop could be an arm, R&B could be, rock could be a leg, if music was a body, R&B is easily the heart, you feel me?
Absolutely.
And R&B showcased a lot of, even a lot of hip hop songs, just for radio's sake. There were a lot of songs that were about courting, if you will, the proper way of dating, spitting game, hooking up with them, the date, da-da-da-da-da. Now, it's immediately, all right, we're smashing, that's it. It's like the romance has been, I feel like the romance really has been dead, you feel me? So how do you feel about this, the state of R&B? And do you feel like it'll ever get back to where their role will be in the heart and bringing the romance back, or do you think it's just going to continue to just get worse? As an R&B artist, so you're in that, So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I'd probably say I'm more curious than anything, because the reason why I say that is because I think R&B can go back to any time in the current day. But the only problem is there enough demand for that? There has to be, there has to be some sort of want of it. And that's why I think guys like myself and a lot of guys like you and I from the 90s timeline to the early 2000s timeline, it's gonna evolve either way. So that's gonna be inevitable. It's gonna be, the sound is just gonna change every year. It's just gonna keep changing and changing. And I mean, if you just take a look at hip hop and rap music, the mumble rap is kind of like the norm now. With like the Migos and all them, and it's I don't know if I'm saying I'm worried, because I don't think I'm worried about the state of R&B. I think the R&B is in good hands, because as long as people continue to stay great and unique and be able to at least bring some joy into R&B, I don't think I'll ever be concerned. Yeah, I mean,
performance with Bruno Mars and freaking Anderson .Paak.
Whew.
My God.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, man, is collaborations. That's why I think that makes R&B and hip hop so special, because they're always going to need each other. And I love the fact that R&B is in such good hands because of that.
Yes.
And that's why I think R&B is such the best genre, because it'll always relate to anyone, regardless of whether or not you're a fan of the genre.
Yeah.
And
straight up.
And it's true, man, because R&B, they cover everything: love, sex, drugs, alcohol, family, holidays, tough times. You talk about being rich, cars. And but going back to the original question, man, I'm not scared for R&B whatsoever. I think R&B will continue to grow. I just want people to understand is, let's not let our own bias dictate whether or not someone's great, because there are a lot of artists that I'll listen to a little bit, I may not be a fan, but that doesn't mean I won't be a fan eventually. You know, so it's kind of how I was with like you brought up Anderson .Paak. You know, wasn't listening really to him a lot. I knew who he was, but you know, but kind of seeing how he's doing, it's like, you know, I need to listen to more of Anderson .Paak. Yeah. And I'm grateful for it, but that's just all part of just being not the artist, but just the fan. And being the R&B will always be in good hands. I don't think it's ever gonna die out. All the sound will do is change. Yeah. It'll change, but it's probably gonna change for the better. And that's why I'm happy for guys like Chris Brown, who is dominating R&B right now, and he's continuously having these great albums. So I'm happy to see him. But I think in order for R&B to stay safe, we got to make sure that everybody gets that spotlight within the genre. Yeah. If we can let everybody get that spotlight, we'll be okay. We'll be good. We'll be all right.
Yeah, bro. You got an amazing amount of wisdom. And yeah, big shout out to that, man. I wish you the best at everything. We definitely gonna do more talking on, you know, on comedy, on a lot of different things. You know, I got a music video show, Blaze on the Top 10 Music Video Countdown show. You feel me?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's dope. So even when you got new videos, we speak on that. So yeah, it's a whole lot. Like it runs literally like I have a voting poll on Facebook. All the artists got to do is get their fans to vote, and whoever the top 10 artists are, they're the ones that get on, you know what I mean? So I love bringing that element back, you know. So, but yeah, we'll definitely talk. I appreciate you a billion %, bro. Like I said, that's everything. I'm gonna be bumping this music. Shout out to Music Breaker, you know what I mean? And thank you for vibing with your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, thank you for having me, man. Yeah, man, can't wait to talk to you more, man, and be able to work with different opportunities with you. And man, I gotta head out to Georgia, man. You guys seem to turn up out there. I need to come out.
Definitely, bro.
Well, I'm at Magic City. I'm coming.
And more important than the turn up, for whatever reason, here is they don't have the crab in the bucket mentality. I love my city. I love Palm Beach. I love Miami. I love crab in the bucket mentality. Nobody else want to see nobody else be great. Here, I remember doing my very first talent show competition type thing here. And the prize to win was money. The competition had like my posters up, rocking with me too, and I'm like, what? You know? It was crazy to see the type of, we battle, but at the same time we support you, and it's contagious out here. So if you ever come and do anything out here, just don't be surprised, because you're gonna get a lot of love. You know?
You got your radio show too, or is that just your mic?
On radio station, bro.
Oh, hey, that's what's up.
Get these pull-ups up, man. Blaze it up radio. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Y'all check out the station. Royalty paying internet station, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We just ain't no regular internet station. You get paid your royalties. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
On Roku, Fire, Apple TV. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. I gotta check it out, man. I'll let you know I'm heading out there, man. We'll plan ahead of time, man. But look forward to doing some more conversations with you like this, man. This is definitely great. Thank you for having me.
Go ahead and let them know where they can find you on social media and music, and yeah, we out this piece.
Hey, you find me on Spotify, man. Just type in Edison, EDISON. Also, you can find me on IG at It's Official Edison, or you can find me on Twitter at Music Edison. So you'll be able to find me on there, guys. And we got more stuff coming, some more stuff on the way, and we see you guys soon.
Definitely, man. Thank you, man. This has been another episode of Welcome to the Dope Bar. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you, homie. And we out this piece.
Okay, have a good one, man. See you, everybody.